everybody, it's Ashleigh here, and today for our tutorial I am going to be showing you guys how I transformed this desk. So I picked this desk up from Goodwill. It's in pretty relatively good condition. There's a little bit of scratches here, trim coming off, but nothing that can't be fixed. Now this is a laminate piece, so it was very, very challenging to paint this piece, but we will get into that later. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I did here was the trim on the side here was loose, so I just took my screwdriver and tightened up the screws that were in the inside. The next step, of course, is to remove all the hardware, which we are going to be reusing these drawer pulls. And then I just gave the piece a quick wipe down to remove any dust. Alright, so let's get into painting. So as you can see, I started off painting with Waverly, the color Ocean, and it was just not working out for me. So as you can see here, as I'm doing these couple of strokes, that the paint starts to like dissipate. It's like watery. It's just not working. And we all know with chalk paint, it says it's minimal prep, no prep. And we literally are going to have to prep this piece because the paint was definitely not sticking. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start to plank the top. I'm just measuring out where I need to cut with my miter saw, and then I'm going to take my clamps and start to nail the wood to the top. All right, so now I'm going to start to remove the drawers so that we can start to prep this out. As you can see, I did come back and spray paint this with pink, just trying to do everything that I could. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to do it the right way. So I started to sand the sides, and then I'm going to prime the sides with just some white primer so we can start to paint. So as you see here, I'm going to come back with that same, well, actually, no, this is not the same paint. I switched to black, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint each of the sides black, and then we're going to decoupage the middle parts of each drawer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our scrapbook paper, we're going to line it up and mark where we need to cut it, and then we're going to use our scrapbook paper cutter or paper cutter, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to cut our strips that we need for each drawer. Okay, so after I've cut it, I'm just going to place it on top, making sure that it lines up. Then I'm going to take my glue, place it on the top, and I'm going to take my paper then and put it on top of that glue. I put my paper in the water so that it's just going to be easier for me to kind of maneuver the paper around and get it where I need it to be. Make sure that there are no bubbles, and then you're going to put your Mod Podge glue on top. Now, after you put that glue on top, you're just going to take a cloth and wipe it down and then let it dry overnight. All right, so this is how it looks when you are finished with your decouping. Now we have placed our hardware back on to the drawer top, and now you see our little rough edges here. We're just going to clean them up. So just going to take your sandpaper and you're just going to start to sand the edges just a little bit so they smooth down. Now you can sand it all the way off, but you're still going to have rough edges. So what you're going to have to do is just take your paintbrush and you're just going to start to kind of paint down and like clean up the lines. All right, so that's what it looks like when you're all done. And now we are going to do the top and the other side the exact same way. All right, so now we're just going to come back and start the body. So I'm just sanding it. Then we're going to come back and prime it. And then we're going to paint it. Guys, I will never, never say never, but I really don't think that I will tackle a laminate piece like this ever again because it was so challenging. OMG. But anyways, this is what it looks like after. Sorry that it's kind of dark. But after I did this, I just put the drawers back on and we were good to go. All right, guys, so we are all finished. Here is the finished product. Laminate is not my best friend. We did like several different paint jobs, but sometimes it is like that, okay? Trial and error. The top is stained with a polyurethane and a matte finish, and the bottom is sealed with wax. I added the trim, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, that you're subscribed to my channel, and that you hit that notification bell so you'll always be up to date with my latest tutorials, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.